All right, everybody's favorite word problems. Let's read it and see what we can do. Suppose there are 20 rabbits on an island and that the rabbit population can triple every 6 months. All right, three things we're asked to do. Make a table of values to discover the number of rabbits after 2 years. Does the table represent a linear or nonlinear function? 3. Using the table, when will the rabbit population reach 1 million? By the way, for those of you who don't know, Coney Island in New York, Brooklyn to be specific, Coney is another word for rabbit, and Coney Island is another word for it was Rabbit Island. A little history today. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Let's make a table of values to discover the number of rabbits after 2 years. All right, I'm going to slide this down because I've already made a table. And let's see what we come up with. All right, so here's my table. And what I'm told at the beginning, right, is that there are 20 rabbits on an island. So the time in years, 0. It's not 0 year, but it's the time that I start. From where I began, there were 20 rabbits. And I used 0.5. Why did I use 0.5? Because I was told it was 6 months, and 6 months is half a year. So the rabbit population triples every 6 months. So after 6 months or half a year, 3 multiplied by 20 is 60. After another 0.5, after another half of a year, albeit a full year, that 60 would triple to 180. After another half of a year, now I'm at a year and a half, that 180 would triple to 540. And finally, after another half year, the rabbit population would triple. 540 multiplied by 3 is 1,620. Okay, so I know that after 2 years there'll be 1,620 rabbits. I've answered the first question. The second question, does the table represent a linear or a nonlinear function? Well, on our inputs here, these are increasing from the first value to the second by a half, from the second to the third by a half, and from the third to the fourth by a half, obviously the fourth to a fifth by a half. But notice, these are not increasing that way. We have 20, and then we go to 60. So between 20 and 60, that would be plus 140. Between 60 and 180, this would be plus 120. So this is not a linear function. As a matter of fact, this is a nonlinear function, and I can see that from checking my output values. All right, and finally, using the table, when will the rabbit population reach 1 million? And I'm going to slide this up, and I'll show you how I did this. My answer for number 2, this is a nonlinear function. I just followed the pattern, and yes, I used a calculator, and I got all of this, and I just kept multiplying. Starting at 2, I had 540, and I know it's increasing, right? So multiplied by 3, and I just kept multiplying by 3 all of the numbers I got, just like I did in the table up here. Essentially, I followed this pattern through here, and I hope I did this accurately. I think I did, and I got all the way down to year 5. So after 5 years, there would be over 1 million rabbits, and that's a whole lot of bunnies. Okay.